Hello, I am Dr. Shigar Kanti. In this video, I want to recall the definition, properties related with groups or subgroups, which are helpful in proving Cauchy's theorem for finite groups and proving Solo's theorem. Let me see one by one. Let G be a group and H is a subgroup of G. Then we write HA is equal to, this is the set consisting of HA where H belongs to H and A is an element of G, is called the right coset of H in G. That is, suppose H is a subgroup consisting of the elements like say H1, H2, H3, Hn. Then this set HA is nothing but H1A, comma H2A, comma H3A, up to comma Hna. This is the set. And the number of elements in HA is same as the number of elements in H. That is, order of HA is equal to order of H. Similarly, we define the left coset. That here we keep this A on the left of H. This is AH1, AH2, AH3, AHN. This is the set. We call this set as the left coset of H in G. And some properties are there related with the cosets. The first property, A belongs to H, implies HA equal to H and conversely. That A belongs to H if and only HA is equal to H. Similar property is A belongs to H if and only AH is equal to H. And the third property is suppose two right cosets HA is equal to HB, then this implies and implied by AB inverse belongs to H. HA equal to HB if and only if AB inverse belongs to H. Similar property, if the left cosets are equal, AH is equal to BH, then if and only if A inverse B is equal to H. So here the right cosets are equal, then inverse comes to the second element. If the left cosets are equal, then inverse comes to the first element. Okay, this is the whole property of related with cosets. And two more properties are there. A belongs to HB if and only if HA equal to HB. This is nothing but similar to third property. A belongs to HB can be written as AB inverse belongs to H. AB inverse belongs to H if and only if HA equal to HB. Similarly, and this can be written like this. Suppose A belongs to BH, then A belongs to the left coset, then this implies and implied by left coset AH is equal to BH. That is here, this can be written as B inverse A equal to, that is if I operate by B inverse on both the sides here, we get B inverse A belong to H, then BH is equal to AH. BH is equal to AH. Okay, this one, that is here. Fourth and sixth are similar. Now, next we go to another property here. If H is a normal subgroup of G, then the quotient group G by H exists. Quotient group G by H exists. And order of G by H is equal to order of G divided by order of H. This is suppose if F from G to G dash is a homomorphism. You know what is homomorphism? F is a homomorphism G to G dash means this preserve the operation that is f of xy is equal to fx fy is satisfied, then say that it is a homomorphism. So that f from G to G dash is a homomorphism with kernel K, then this kernel is a normal subgroup of G. Okay. And next property is if order of G is a prime number, then this implies and implied by G has no proper subgroups. That is order of G equal to say prime number 5, 7 like this. Then this has no proper subgroups. Proper subgroups are nothing but We know that suppose G is a group, the set consisting of only identity element, it definitely is a group. And G itself is a group, that is E and G are subgroups of G. These two subgroups are known as improper subgroups. That is, at least two subgroups are there. Any given group is there, two subgroups are there. That is here the identity element. On the set consisting of only identity element is a subgroup, and G itself is the identity. G itself is the subgroup. These two subgroups are known as the improper subgroups. And if any subgroup is there other than E and G, then that subgroup is known as a proper subgroup. Okay. Now, so that if order of G is prime, then this G has no proper subgroup, only improper subgroups are there. Suppose if order of G is a composite, then G has proper subgroups. If order of G equal to P a prime, then G is cyclic, and you know that every cyclic group is abelian. Order of G equal to prime, then G is cyclic, generated by some element. Another property, every subgroup of abelian group is normal. If G is abelian, then every subgroup is a normal subgroup. Okay. If G is abelian, then this group G by H is also abelian. If A belongs to G and order of A is equal to n, so that G is a group here, A is any element of G, and order of A equal to say n. Now, if A power of m equal to E, then this implies n divides m. That is order of A divides this one. And conversely, suppose n divides m, then we can write A power of m is equal to E. That A raised to m equal to E if and only if n divides m. This is one property. Next property, the center of a group G is denoted by Zg or just Z and is defined as, we define the center as like this. Zg is equal to x belongs to G such that Gx is equal to xg for all G belongs to G. That means here this is the set consisting of the elements of G which commute with all the elements of G. We call this as the center. The normalizer of an element A denoted by NA, or sometimes we write N bracket A, within bracket we write A. I am writing N suffix A here, NA, and is defined as, this is the set X belongs to G such that AX is equal to X. That is, this is the set consisting of the elements of G which commute with A, which commute with A. So that is NA is the set of elements of G which commute with A. And clearly, the center ZG is a subset of NA because here, if any element, say X belong to Z, means X commute with all the elements of G. Then, in particular, it commute with A. Therefore, that X belongs to NA also. Therefore, here we get ZG is a subset of NA. Center of group G is a subset of normalizer of A. And we have the class equation. This is known as the class equation. Class equation is, suppose G is a finite group, then order of G is equal to order of Zg plus summation. This one, that is here order of G divided by order of NA, where A does not belong to Z. Class equation is order of G can be written as order of Zg plus summation. A does not belong to Z, order of G divided by order of N. This is known as the class equation, and we use this in Cauchy's theorem and Stylus theorem. Next property, A belongs to Z. If A belongs to Z, then the normalizer of NA is equal to G. And if A does not belong to Z, then NA is not equal to G. Therefore, NA is a subset of G. And I think here we have given here the center Z is a normal subgroup of G, and center ZG is abelian. Center ZG is abelian. One more property, if H and K are subgroups of G, then order of HK can be written as order of H into order of K divided by order of H intersection K. So that is here H and K are any two subgroups of G, then order of HK equal to order of H into order of K divided by order of H intersection K. And one more property, order of HA, A belongs to G is equal to order of G. Okay. That is, this is by while proving the Lagrange theorem, we write this. One more property, two subgroups A and B of G are said to be conjugates if there exists an element X in G such that A can be written like this. A is equal to XB X inverse, or B can be written as X A X inverse. Then we say that A and B are conjugate to each other. And we have one more result here. Number of conjugates of this P, okay, P is equal to order of G divided by order of NP, where NP is the normalizer. That is here, this is nothing but the normalizer of this set P here. This is nothing but the set consisting of the elements X such that XP is equal to PX. If this is satisfied, then we take that element here. So that is, these are some basics we require in proving Cauchy's theorem and Sylow's theorem. Thank you. I will stop here.